Hi guys, and welcome back to yet another video by Antworld, and today we'll be continuing the series how to make an ant nest, and today I'll be teaching you how to make an ant nest using a plaster. First of all, you will need a clear plastic container like this. It doesn't have to be square or anything, but it has to be clear so that you can view your ants. Now there are two types of setups you can make using plaster. One is a 2-in-1 setup where you can feed your ants to. The other one is a former carrier design where the ants can only nest and you can't feed them. Now in this video, we'll be doing a 2-in-1 design using plaster. Now here I've mixed the plaster with water. Now the consistency is a bit sloppy, so I'll have to add a bit more plaster so that it will be thick. Now stir it with a spoon so that you can get rid of all this lumpy plaster and mix it well with the water. Now here I've put in some more plaster and it is a thicker consistency, and this is the consistency we'll be using for our nest, and I recommend you should also use this. Now we'll be pouring in a thin layer of plaster which will act as the base of the nest. It should not be very thick, just a thin layer. Now shake it a bit so that it will mix evenly. Now here I've applied oil on the edges of the container. Now it's time for shaping the chambers. So get creative guys. Now after giving the base to set for some time, you have to create your chambers and crevices using some wet soil, just like shown in the clip. Now you have to create an entrance hole into the nest. So just pile up some soil on top of the chambers, which will act as the entrance hole. Now here I've poured in the plaster on top of the soil layer, and you can see that a bit of a soil is peeking out of the layer, and this is the entrance hole. After doing all these steps, let your nest dry for 24 hours or it won't be strong enough. During the setting time, I've also applied some soil into the outworld area to give it a natural look. First, try to bend the edges so that the plaster nest will get loose from the edges. You can see in the clip that the edges are coming out. This is a good sign. Okay, time to take out the nest from the container. Just slamp it in the back a few times and there you go. The nest is out. Now we have to get out the soil from the nest. After I've done this, I put it in some water for some hours to strengthen the plaster. The nest looks wonderful. I really like the chambers as it has a wild and cave-like look to it. Now here is the nest after taking it out from the water. Now we just have to insert it into our container. I've also pierced it and given it a hole so that we can connect the nest to other nests in the future. Putting the nest in, it looks amazing. I really think my ants will love it in here. I'm gonna move in my colony of black crazy ants. They are badly in need of space. Back to the nest. I can't stop admiring the chambers and the crevices, which look so natural and awesome. A fine layer of soil is also sticking to the outworld area, and this gives it a very awesome natural look, which I hoped for. And here are the ants. I've moved them into the nest. And the chambers it is not really clear, but we can see that there's a lot of activity going on inside. I can see a lot of brood being moved here and there. In the outworld part of the nest, I have placed a small container with some sugar water in it as the ants can drink from it and energize for doing their day-to-day activities. Now, the barrier is a bit weak and I have to close the nest or the ants will escape. Now, let's open and look inside the AAC nest. Wow! There is a lot of workers, brood and even queens inside the nest. As you can see, there are many queens in the nest, and this is because they are polygynous, which means they will have more than one queen in the nest. I counted almost 8 queens in this colony. Some of them are not mated yet. This species doesn't normally have nuptial flights. Instead, the elates which are born in the colony mate and reproduce in its own colony itself. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and that's all for today's video. Comment down in the comment section if you managed to learn something from this video or if it helped you in any means. And as always, thank you for watching.